Muy buenas, soy Sigiloco Games, estamos aquí de nuevo en el Inquisition. Estamos aquí en nuestro feudo celestial, prácticamente en nuestro castillo de la Inquisición. Y como pueden ver, estamos justamente en lo que habíamos dejado la vez pasado. No he hecho casi nada en realidad, solo he ido investigando un poquillo por aquí y por allá, a ver qué teníamos. Y como pueden ver, tenemos varias cosas que hacer por aquí. Obviamente tenemos que hablar como es costumbre, con todos nuestros personajes para buscar un poco de sus vidas y de lo que piensan acerca de todo lo que estamos haciendo, que es algo esencial y muy de lo que se trata este juego, la historia. Entonces vamos a ir por orden. Vamos. Tenemos aquí también 3 misiones que completar. No, más misiones, tenemos como 5 misiones que completar aquí solo en esta sección. Y bueno, aquí tenemos solo son viajes rápidos en forma de ladrillos. Acá tenemos una especie de... estas son para las investigaciones. Y aquí hablamos con este güey.
Oh, Bells, it's you. Morris. Sir Morris, I suppose. I am serving as quartermaster for Skyhold and its arriving throngs. Stores are growing, and so long as we have fair coin to restock, you and yours will be well served.
The previous quartermaster survived Haven. Where is she?
She had views. Has views. Perfectly legitimate ones if you share them, Inquisitor. I believe it was felt that your quartermaster should be more palatable now that the Inquisition is in Orlais. She continues to serve, just not at the fore.
Okay.
What makes you ideal for this position? It's an important one.
My family has ties to several freehold militias, as well as cousins acting as officers in Ferelden and Orlais.
And your qualifications?
My family holds treaties with 3 new money Tevinter houses, and a rare Orzuma contract with a Paragon namesake.
And your qualifications?
To be honest, your worship, that was my question. I am the nexus of a dozen threads tied by others, designed to cast the widest and most appealing resource net. But I will rise to the occasion. Skyhold will want for nothing. I swear it.
How's it going? Do we have what we need?
Our capacity increases, as do our requests to suppliers. I've had to threaten some contracts. It was exhilarating.
Muy bien.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
Bueno, aquí tenemos un equipo de minería y antisfero, que es lo que tenemos que hacer por ahí por allá. Tengo unas cosillas que leer y no somos de nivel, muchachos. Y creo que con nivel 13 podemos enfrentarnos a un pequeño dragoncillo, aunque va a ser muy difícil, así tengamos nivel 13. Pero creo que estaremos a nivel para enfrentarnos a un dragoncillo. Pero de momento vamos a hacer todo lo que aquí nos ofrece el feudo celestial. Como aquí tenemos la torre de hierro. Tenemos que ir a encontrar también a nuestros personajes para que se desbloqueen. Aquí tenemos la taberna. Como pueden ver, aquí está Crane, perdón. Aquí unos personajillos más, pero no de mucha importancia. Aquí tenemos a el explorador Harding. Bueno, creo que ya vamos a hacerlo. Acá tenemos las mazmorras. Aquí tenemos acero. En las mazmorras, si no estoy mal, está el bueno de Alexius, que lo tenemos que enjuiciar.
With allies come enemies, and now we have a place to hold them.
No one to watch over, your worship. We either have many friends, or you've made short work of enemies.
Bueno, aquí estaba Alexius. Y esta es prácticamente la prisión, que como pueden ver está un poco acabada y hay que repararla. Hay que hacer bastantes cosas aquí en el Feudo celestial. Como mejorarlo bastante, pero eso va a ser con tiempo, Primero hay que recoger bastantes recursos. Y obviamente hablar con bastante gente.
Inquisitor.
Bueno, vamos primero a la sala del consejo. Aquí nos podemos sentar, este es nuestro trono. Tenemos a Josephine. Y parece que tenemos un informe de un consejero. Vamos a ver. A ver. Creo que era ese aquí del informe de los poderosos. Bien. Vamos a ver. ¿Qué más tenemos? En busca del escritor suelo.
Really?
Pero esta
You
creo
did
que es
not
para...
notice? I had no idea Lady Beverly
Sí,
was
para
one of your
Elena.
people. You might have told me before I embarrassed
Para
myself.
conseguir dinero. Este creo que sí. Este es para Colin.
To work?
Bien. Bien. ¿Qué peso tenemos? Vamos bien. Para una varita. Bueno, son cosillas que no son muy importantes en realidad. Aquí tenemos... No, no me interesa eso. Eso tampoco. Y aquí tenemos paquete verdad, que no me interesa. Armadura explorador reforzada. Creo que nadie está a ese nivel en realidad. Una col le puedo poner esta. Hombre. Te tiene un sombrerillo bueno. A este buen muchacho de col le voy a poner, como es nuevo aquí en la fiesta. Sí, le voy a poner para que sea arquero. Ni modo que no tengo ningún arquero de momento. Vamos a hacerle que sea arquero a este muchacho. Bien. Y vamos con trampas, ¿no? Bien. Entonces le vamos a poner un arco al bueno de col. Ahí. Ahí está nivel 13. Bueno, ya mismo sube nivel, no pasa nada. De momento, a ver. Puedo poner accesorios. Trampa de clavos. A ver, ¿qué le puse a este? No me acuerdo. Recién acabo de poner las habilidades y no me acuerdo qué le puse. A ver, acá le puse... Así, armas envenenadas, pinchos, pelea sucia. Armas envenenadas y pinchos de momento. Creo que es lo que tiene. Armas envenenadas y pinchos, vamos a ver. Estas solo es para mago. Vamos a poner armas envenenadas. Vamos a poner destreza. Vamos a poner esto. Qué diablos. Astucia. Bueno, ahí nomás. De momento sí. Primera señorita que encontramos, Josephine.
Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
It certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Theras requires. The mages are showing great trust in you. They need to feel safe here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus's attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
I keep feeling that fire's heat on the back of my neck, too.
Indeed. But you're the one who led us to safety. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lady. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
I'm loath to part from such pleasant company. Would you care to walk the castle with me?
Oh, well, a tour then? Let me fetch the steward.
That isn't precisely what I was hoping for.
Well, do let me know if you change your mind. Now I must find someone to prepare the guest quarters. Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
Las héroes de este mundo. Vamos a ver, la áncora mágica nos agrada.
The anchor's nothing more special than a misfired spell.
At least you had the good fortune to take it from Corypheus. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
It's not pain. It's more like my nerves go on fire.
It sounds most unpleasant.
A ver, otra vez.
A situation requires your attention, Inquisitor. Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're unusually organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with the matter.
Will anyone even believe me if I claim I didn't kill the Divine?
Perhaps if they learn about your heroics, we should emphasize how you stopped the breach devouring the sky. Even in Jadar, it may win you a few admirers.
What does the nobility gain by saying I murdered Justinia?
A scapegoat to begin with, but I wonder if the Grand Clerics are at work. Those immediately eligible to be divine died at the Conclave. The ones remaining were not as favored. They may look upon you as a rival for influence.
Why don't we counter these falsehoods by starting rumors of our own?
A whisper campaign. It would show those in the know we have some subtlety at our command.
Muy bien. Tenemos un
What
poco
may
más de
I do
influencia.
for
A ver. Eso ya tenemos, eso ya hemos visto. Vamos a dejarlo de informal.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
You may see the Countess Lutetia in the halls. A lovely woman, but her conversations tend towards the unusual. She's the patron of Orlay's greatest naturalists. The Countess's particular passion is collecting butterflies.
That doesn't sound unusual.
She goes into great detail about preserving them. It seems to involve large amounts of chemicals and pins.
Muy bien. Creo que ya es suficiente con Josephine.
What may I do for you?
Ok, forma.
What do the people make of us?
We've gathered many favors among the nobility. They will be gently reminded of this.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Bueno, aquí no hay nada más. Vámonos para... Siguiente. Bueno, aquí tenemos que juzgar a nuestros prisioneros. Y según cómo juzgamos, nos dan ciertas cosillas. Vamos a ver.
Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment, where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Still more lives in my hands.
You are a beacon of law, Inquisitor, as others retreat from responsibility. But this needn't be bloody. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Muy bien.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you.
Bueno, aquí tenemos el trono. Vamos a ver. ¿A quién tenemos que juzgar hoy? Creo que tenemos a dos personajes, pero vamos a ver.
This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
You're a chieftain of the Avar. Will your attacks persist?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. He meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
It seems our conflict was accidental, Chief Movran, but it can't be repeated. I banish you and your clan, with as many weapons as you can carry, to Tevinter.
My idiot boy got us something after all.
Muy bien. Tenemos más que jugar. Vamos a ver. ¿A quién más?
You recall Gerion Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination, on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
Remind me, what's the precedent for nearly ripping apart time at the seams?
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. you'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
You swore to the mages you'd help them. I will have you uphold that promise. Fiona will take charge of you. Any knowledge, favor, or coin you own will go towards the mage's future.
A headsman would have been kinder.
Muy bien. Se nos ha acabado las los jueces. Perdón. Para juzgar a la gente. Ya tenemos a demás. Bueno, acá tenemos a Josephine. Acá creo que parece que está solas. No, aquí no está solas. Creo que está por acá. Aquí tenemos un buen muchacho que se llama Katsi. Vamos a hablar con él. Katsi.
Honored, Inquisitor. Gotzi Sturhald. Did my part on the walls. Now I'm on this strange collection you've brought us. Don't know its worth to the fight exactly, but it's good workmanship.
Okay.
Where did you learn your skills?
Orzammar. Carved a few statues in my day. And before you ask, yes, I chose to leave. I carved a paragon who turned out to be a sodding madwoman. Couldn't stand looking at it. The memory of a dwarf, right?
Any ideas about the origins of these reliefs?
To Vinter, early. It's in the tool marks, the grain. That's hard dust mined from the 100 Pillars, if I know anything. Oh, I suppose the scene is probably full of Tevinter robes, too.
The 100 Pillars?
Damnedest things. Massive spires that aren't stone. It's like a mortar. Don't know more than that. Strong, though.
Do you have insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what. You finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
Ahí tenemos lo que son los relieves estos, los que vamos cogiendo así por los mapas. Que se ponen aquí en... Bueno, aquí no están, pero bueno, se ponen en las paredes. Bueno, puede ser que esté en otro lado en este momento. Bueno, primero vamos a hablar con... Aquí está Solas.
My friend.
Creo que no... de Corypheus.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhall. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
You've given me good counsel before. I could use some now.
My apologies, Inquisitor. My poor manners shame me. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the breach. I suspect the blast that destroyed the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
Debe ser élfico.
You said that you believed the orb is elven.
I never would have believed a Tevinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities, giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to control the archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
Okay.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. Spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Tevinter.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus's power?
According to the law, The ancient magistars of the Vinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
Okay. Alright.
I'm interested in what you told me of yourself in your studies. If you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
Mira tú.
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
We talked about that already.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
I'm glad someone was watching over me.
You were a mystery. You still are. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
Cassandra's like that with everyone.
Yes. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
The breach threatened the whole world. Where did you plan to go?
Someplace far away, where I might research a way to repair the breach before its effects reached me. I never said it was a good plan. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then... It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
You didn't say it that way, I don't think. You just said it.
Is that how you remember it? That is what I mean about perception shaping our existence.
But that's only true in the Fade.
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Muy bien, aquí despertamos de nuestros aposentos, creo que sí. Vamos a ver. Sí. Estos son nuestros aposentos, señores. Vamos a recoger esto. Y bueno, aquí tenemos ya todas las cosas para... ¿cómo es? Mejorar nuestro castillo. Y bueno, aquí tenemos el ropero. Tenemos vestimenta informal. Vamos a probar con este. Curiosidad. Acá también tenemos una armadura. Parece que no son tan bonitos en realidad. Vamos a ver este. Simplemente es la misma ropa pero en blanco. Vamos a ver, estos son los mejores. Está bien, pero tampoco tanto mover formal. Este es el mejor que este. Sí, ahí se ve mucho mejor. Bueno, aquí no hay nada más, solo tenemos. Acá arriba no hay nada. Eso ya lo sé, aquí he investigado todo esto. En mis anteriores aventuras. Y bueno, nada más, vámonos de aquí. Tenemos que seguir conversando con nuestros personajes.
spared no expense.
Como pueden ver, ahí tenemos que bajar al salón principal. Muy bien, estamos dando aquí. Por aquí no, vamos otra vez a ver consolas. A ver qué nos cuenta el muchacho.
Any stories?
A ver, salas.
Sleep well?
Sí, bien increíble.
I've never done anything like that before. Do you regularly talk to people in dreams?
No. Consider that one more rule you have effortlessly broken in your rise to power. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable. But I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
A ver, háblame de tus viajes.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
A ver, no sé si esto ya había hablado con Salas.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found the ruin of Barandur, a lost Tevinter city buried deep beneath a dead and barren wasteland. Volcanic ash had sealed it tight. In one dark moment, every living creature in the city seared and smothered. They were statues in the ashes, like a mold made to recall the lost.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I met a friendly spirit who observed the dreams of village girls as love first blossomed in their adolescence. With subtlety, she steered them all to village boys with gentle hearts, who would return their love with gentle kindness. The matchmaker, so I called her. That small village never knew its luck.
Alright.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a savage human horde go marching toward the battlefront. They sang a soldier's hymn to keep formation. Primal music shook the ground. These savage, unwashed warriors carried harmonies no chantry choirs mastered. Though their cause was all but hopeless, they sang songs that made the spirits weep.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Muy bien, a ver otras consolas. Bueno.
Something wrong with your tea?
It is tea. I detest this stuff. But this morning, I need to shake the dreams from my mind. I may also need a favor.
But you don't need anything from anyone. You're known for that.
One of my oldest friends has been captured by mages, forced into slavery. I heard the cry for help as I slept.
When your friend was captured, how did she...
It.
My
friend is a spirit of wisdom. Unlike the spirits clamoring to enter our world through the rifts, it was dwelling quite happily in the Fade. It was summoned against its will, and wants my help to gain its freedom and return to the Fade.
I thought spirits wanted to find their way into this world.
Some do, certainly. Just as many Orlesian peasants wish they could journey to exotic Rivain. But not everyone wants to go to Rivain. My friend is an explorer, seeking lost wisdom and reflecting it. It would happily discuss philosophy with you, but it had no wish to come here physically.
Do you have any idea what the mages want with your friend?
No. It knows a great deal of lore and history, but a mage could learn that simply by speaking to it in the Fade. It is possible that they seek information it does not wish to give, and intend to torture it.
All right, let's go get your friend.
Thank you. I got a sense of my friend's location before I awoke. I'll mark it on our map.
Muy bien. Nueva misión. Para eso se pone a hablar con tus personajes.
Lethalan.
A ver... Háblame del velo.
What do you know about the Fade?
A great deal from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
Creo que esto ya hablamos.
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your anchor, as Corypheus calls it, allows you some control over the breach. That suggests it was deliberate.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
Eso suena maravilloso.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful. And the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
Your Dalish say the demons hate the natural world, and seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living, and a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The Veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Muy bien. Podemos seguir hablando con este muchacho, pero bueno, eso ya lo haré después. Mis aventurías por ahí. Que nos dé alguna misión importante. Aquí tenemos a Dorian. Aquí tenemos a Fiona.
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I knew you, of all people, would understand. Huh. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a Warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi. But I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no one. That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave. There must be another solution.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
Most are pleased with the alliance, even if we wonder what will happen next.
I'll leave you to it.
Bueno, aquí tenemos un librillo. Voy a leer esto. Uf, nos queda muy poco para subir el nivel. Y aquí podemos dejar nuestras investigaciones. Que de momento creo que no tenemos nada. Sí, ya he dejado todo. A pesar de que había cogido bastantes cosas, pero parece que ya no están. Aquí están las estelas, como pueden ver. Los fragmentos estos que vamos recogiendo por el mundillo. Muy bien. Vámonos para... Vamos a hablar con Dorian ahora sí. ¿Quién está? Gilismo.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Maeve?
Yes. She said she was needed elsewhere and that I should serve the Inquisition to the best of my ability.
What is she doing?
I wasn't told.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
Es una tranquila.
You were made tranquil.
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate, based on the partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were?
Yes, Inquisitor.
Muy bien. Ya hablamos con Fiona, hablamos con esta muchacha. Ahora nos toca con Dorian, que aquí está.
Brilliant, isn't it? One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
You don't need to worry about me. I can keep up.
Yes, I noticed that.
Did you know?
Certainly. If you were a slack-jawed yokel, you'd already be dead. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters. A dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
Why does that make you angry?
Because the Imperium is my home. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no. It was us all along. We destroyed the world.
Bueno, aún no está destruido.
Last I checked, the Blights hadn't actually destroyed the world.
Not for lack of trying. If they were more clever, they'd have unleashed something that would really do the job. No one will thank me whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
We don't know what will happen. Nobody does.
An optimist! Such a rare breed. I've stumbled upon a unicorn. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world.
Muy bien.
Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
Una maga en Carinus. Nueva operación ahí en la mesa de batalla. Por Dorian.
I ran into Fiona. Seems you have Alexius serving the mages. There's some justice in that after what he did to them. Maybe one day he'll realize it.
I'd like to ask you about Tevinter.
Popular topic. Anything specific?
Corypheus is a figure out of Tevinter history. He was a magister.
Yes, but that was a different time. The Imperium's power was at its peak then. The Civil War had ended. The Magisterium was united, its armies scooping up bits of Thedas like candy. The Magisters who entered the Black City. It was a demonstration of how exceptional Tevinter had become.
But who were they?
No one knows. There's no record of a Magister named Corypheus. All this happened 1400 years ago, before the Blight nearly wiped us out. There are no records. Today, people half believe it's all just a story. That's what I believed.
We have evidence the story is very much real.
But not who Corypheus is, if he even remembers. There used to be families who claimed some of those Magisters as their own. That stopped when the Chantry appeared. Then it was shameful, and the families distanced themselves from the tale. All we know is that some men and women entered the Black City looking for the old gods. What did they find? According to Corypheus, nothing. And only he could tell us more.
Muy bien, ya está.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
I should go.
As you wish.
Muy bien, vámonos aquí. No, vámonos para arriba porque arriba está Leliana, muchachos. Seguimos subiendo por aquí y nos encontramos aquí a Leliana. Ahí la ven.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but... why didn't you see that attack coming?
I didn't know what I was looking for. The Red Templars are like nothing I've seen, and the Venatori hide their tracks well. I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents, and instead we lost Haven.
You look out for your people. That's a good thing.
Is it? My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter.
Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus...
We're better than Corypheus.
I'm listening.
Ok, ya te veo.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in Haven. I am much better now. She was a good friend, and it will take time to get used to her absence. But thank you for asking. It is appreciated.
¿Alguna novedad?
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Elysian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
Otra vez.
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. There is something at least.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
Muy bien.
I'll leave you to your work.
Ya hemos hablado con Liliana. Vamos directamente a la parte de abajo. Aquí no podemos hacer daño, así que podemos caer así como queramos. Aquí somos inmunes al daño. Bueno, para acá tenemos el resto de nuestros personajes. Aquí tenemos a Cera, como pueden ver. Acá tenemos a Cera, aquí tenemos a Vivienne, a Blackwell, y está Toro, y ahí está Cassandra. Entonces vamos a hablar con todos ellos para ver qué nos cuentan. Primero vamos a hablar con Cera. Vamos en orden.
So, Inquisitor. It is Inquisitor now, right? Remember that war we talked about stopping? Full of little baddies I can stick with little arrows. That's not a friggin' archdemon, is it? Droste, what does step in?
I've apparently been through a lot. But yes, Corypheus was a surprise.
No, a surprise would be, oh, I stepped in dog shite. No one says, oh, a Magister God monster, I'm surprised. Impossible things aren't surprises.
I can't help you if you don't explain what's wrong exactly.
It's got to be nonsense, doesn't it? We're kind of screwed if it isn't. I mean, that Corypheus thing. A Magister, right? Story is, he cracked the Golden City. But that's a hazy dream. If not, Seat of the Maker, real thing. A seat needs a butt, so the Maker, real thing. Fairy stories about the start and end of the world, real things. It's too much, isn't it? How pretty are you that I actually think this shite is possible?
I like to hear this. The pretty part, not the overwhelmed by everything part.
Oh, sure. Don't mind the bung writ through the heavens, love. Primp and toss and all is well. What I want is to get everything back to business as usual. A nice, simple system with simple problems. Helps me, helps people, helps you. In that order. For now.
You're starting to not sound completely crazy.
I know. Scary, innit? Thanks for all this, and I'll see you here. Right? Yeah?
Muy bien. Bueno, Cera se va por ahí. Vamos a ver si es que va otra vez con la muchacha.
Something on?
Especial. Muy bien. Es... Fuiste a mí, a los amigos, investigar. ¿Qué opinas de nuestro progreso?
Are things playing out the way you expected?
Cassandra laid it out, right? You're the big hat now. Gonna make everything the way it should be. Praying's nice, I suppose. Corypheus bit, though. Shite.
Corypheus.
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 Sack Splash. I know his name. Doesn't deserve the respect of me saying it, does he?
¿Por qué te uniste a mí, muchacho?
So you like to have fun. The Inquisition seems an odd fit. Why are you really here?
Maybe you'll be fun, yeah? And to help people.
We both know that'd be easier to believe if you were a totally different person.
Not everything is easy to believe. And maybe that's it. There's all this Andraste stuff going on, and seeing it should help, right? But it's fuzzy. I want to see if it's all really real. I just don't know if I want to really know. So I'm selfish. It's all for me. Count yourself lucky, I guess.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
Bueno, esto creo que ya... A ver.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, yeah? An even spread is all it takes.
Doesn't this mean people think you're guilty of more than you actually do?
I suppose. Does it matter?
Shouldn't it?
Important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
¿Y qué hace tu grupo?
Are you just about pranks and revenge, or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
I'm glad I met you before someone decided what I deserved.
You're no hateful ass so far. I'd just get you with a pie or something. Anyway, assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun, that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shy at singing.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, there wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know, wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway. The little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
So lots of little contributions add up in the background, like snowflakes that snap a branch.
What? Sure. Like snow, I guess. Anyway, it just works, most of the time. Friend of a friend and little hints. Mind you, you still have to be smart. Don't bet your life unless you're into that. Risky, yeah? But you like a bit of a tease.
I can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
We'll talk another time.
It's all good, innit?
Mira, no sé si comenzar una relación con Cera sería interesante, más que todo. Pero bueno, de momento vamos a quedarnos ahí. Ahora, bien, estamos en una relación bastante tensa.
It was a mistake to use Haven as a base of operations. The town was completely indefensible.
It was a bad location. We should have moved sooner.
You left yourself vulnerable to attack. It was a miscalculation, one that I'm sure you won't repeat. But the enemy struck a serious blow against you and the Inquisition. We must recognize that. You must.
I'm not going to forgive what happened at Haven. Corypheus will answer for what he's done.
You're angry. Good. Anger can save you when everything else is gone. Just make sure you put it to good use. Our enemy advances, Inquisitor. We must not sit idly by. Act first and teach them to fear us. You can become the leader the faithful require, but you must do it soon.
Uf. Esa buena muchacha está pero también loquísima. Ahora vamos a hablar con Blackwell. Parece que Vivien se fue.
So, this is Skyhold. Come, let's walk the ramparts. I want to examine our fortifications. We'll be able to see Corypheus coming from miles away.
Corypheus thinks we're beaten. By the time he finds us, we'll be Legion.
I know soldiers. I know our soldiers. Corypheus made 100 enemies when he kicked down our door. And when he came after you, he really made it personal. I swear I'll take that twisted bastard down. even if I have to die to do it.
You see this as a personal insult, don't you?
If it's not personal for you, maybe it should be. The people flock to your banner, eager to fight for the Herald of Andraste. Their faith is a leash, and your Inquisition has taken hold of it. Tell me honestly, are you what they say you are? Andraste's chosen?
I wish they'd understand that I'm really nobody.
You're somebody. Don't you see what you are to them? Without you, they'd be consumed by despair. We all would. They need you to be Andraste's messenger. It gives them hope. The truth doesn't matter. Listen to me talk. Your time is valuable and I've wasted enough of it.
Bueno, este muchacho siempre está aquí en las peleras, creo que estaba. Vamos a ver. ¿Dónde está? En las peleas en los establos. No, aquí tengo otro problema. Ah, mira, 17. A ver qué salamos.
Thank you for Haven. Less so for Redcliffe, but I am committed to serve your worship.
Muy bien. Aquí tenemos a Harding.
Scout Harding.
Your worship.
¿Qué será?
What's been going on?
Seeker Cassandra came through here, looking like a storm cloud. That's just her face, though, isn't it?
Shouldn't you be out there, scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
So, who's Scout Harding really?
Me? Oh, I'm no one. Lived near Redcliffe all my life. Herded sheep for my neighbor. When the Inquisition came through my village, I helped by telling them everything I knew about the area. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by that thing out there.
Muy bien.
Take care.
Vamos a hablar con... Tenemos Cassandra y Troyer. A ver, Troyer.
Inquisitor, huh? Well, you've got the fortress for it. Speaking of which, when you've got a second, there's something I want to show you.
What did you want me to come see?
Here, come on. I'll show you.
Why am I dressed like this?
You'll see. Come on. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Evening. Iron Bull. My merc band just joined up.
Tanner. I'm from Jader. Well, near Jader.
Mira. I was guard captain for Lady Pendel. Signed on after shit blew up at the Conclave. Share a drink? Who's your friend?
This is Grim. She doesn't talk much.
Huh.
So, you ready to kill some demons?
Habla
Or
poco.
Venatori, or whatever that Corypheus asshole is?
This isn't just about killing. We're helping the Inquisitor save the world and build the next empire.
Well, long as I get paid, I'm happy. That's why I signed up.
I just couldn't spend my whole life on a farm. Needed to live a little, you know.
What about you, Mira? Why'd you join up? I thought you were serving some noble.
I saw what happened at Haven. The Inquisitor staring down that monster and his archdemon. I don't sing the chant of light as much as I should. But you can't see something like that and not believe.
Well, Grim and I should find our tents. Thanks for the drink. I know every soldier under my command. You don't have that option, but a few faces might help.
You made it sound like you didn't like the Inquisition.
People don't always tell the truth when you're polite. You've got to poke them a bit.
Está bien.
It was good to get their perspective.
Yeah. Sounds like we could use an easy win for boys like Tanner. And vets like Mira have seen enough to be wary. You've got a good army coming along. Remember that. No matter what comes next.
Muy bien. A ver, nos dejó aquí mismo. Ya nos quitó lo de lloro. Ok. A ver, vamos a ver. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? Mejora del patio. Estamos con canteras, necesitamos bolsa de sangre. Uf, necesitamos 3 canteras. Bueno, necesitamos bastantes espadas. ¿Qué momento no tenemos? Cassandra.
Have you met this friend of Varric's, Inquisitor?
Not yet, no.
It had better not be who I think it is. I will wring that little bastard's neck.
Why? Who do you think it is?
Someone Varric claimed he could not contact. Someone the Inquisition, indeed all of Thedas, desperately needed. I'll reserve judgment until I know for certain. No need to have that rogue screaming persecution yet again.
Do you have any advice for me?
Tell that demon, what does it call itself? Cole. Tell it to leave. He may not mean harm, but that does not mean he will not harm us. Spirits are not creatures to take at face value. Be cautious with him, Inquisitor.
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
Muy bien.
I'll let you get back to work.
Bueno, de momento Cassandra no nos cuenta nada. A ver, vamos a ver si es que Toro de Hierro está aquí. Vamos a ver. Creo que estaba aquí. Está acá. Ahí está.
How's it going?
No quiere hacer nada más.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
A ver, con crema.
Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, Your Worship. You need anything, let me know.
We'll talk later.
Sarah creo que estaba por acá arriba, vamos a ver.
The funniest thing I've seen in years. That cat dancing around, hopping and pouncing like a fool.
Ah, no está.
Made my day bright, it did. Maker knows
Ah,
what
no,
got
Sarah
into
estaba
the
en
little
parte,
rat
sí, ya me
catcher.
acuerdo. A ver, acá está, tenemos que buscar a Cole. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? Buscar a Cole.
What are you doing?
Listening. Eyes rough, jangling armor hurts my ears, back aching, fingers too clumsy for knots. Wind cool like Aunt Eloise's pond, lips scalded as I sip, warmth blossoms, first kiss in the barn, what was his name? Tin jangle as the blood spills, Pierre's wrapped body on the wagon to the chantry, 5 more minutes, my fault.
Can you listen to anyone's mind like you did hers?
No, they have to need me. Pain, fear, sadness, guilt, anger, hurt. Things I can fix.
I don't want to see her hurt.
She already is. I can help. It's okay. Nothing you did mattered.
What? Who are you?
They lie there, and sometimes they die, just like Pierre. You can't save them.
I don't know who you are.
Wait. That didn't work. Let me try again. You'll forget me in a minute.
What are you going to do?
Make her forget me. Then do it again, the right way. You can't save all of them.
What?
Like Pierre getting sick after you snuck out to Aunt Eloise's pond. You want it to be your fault, so there's a reason and it's not so frightening. But there is no reason. Pierre just got sick. The soldier was never going to live. It wasn't your fault. Better.
So you walk into their lives, make them feel better, and they just forget you?
Yes. It's better to help and then be gone. If I stay, it can be frightening.
For you or for them?
Yes. Thank you for letting me help her. It's not how a person would do it. But it helped. That's what matters.
Muy bien, aquí tenemos a nuestros instructores que nos van a dar una explicación. Tenemos que hablar con cada uno de ellos.
Hold and declare, Inquisitor.
What do you mean?
I ask your intent. I was summoned to oversee training, and I would know my charge. I am your commander in this matter, Commander Helene.
Muy bien.
Thank you for coming, Commander Helene.
Commander will suffice, recruit. I teach the skills of the Knight Enchanter. It is a rank. It is a life. Understanding its hierarchy is the first step. You already know this. You were not made Inquisitor and then taught to lead. I will teach you how to rise to your place. How to join your warriors, spectral blade in hand. How to command the ranks while standing beside them. Are you ready?
Commander is a title I associate with human forces.
Knight Enchanter has roots in Elven tradition, but it has utility in every tradition. There are no borders for the mage who wields a spectral blade. There is respect, and there is fear.
Who granted your rank? What forces have you served with?
I cannot say.
Then how do I know you're capable?
You know because I have told you, and I will teach you the same authority.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
I cannot. Only you know if you are fit to lead with more than maps. Do you have the mettle to raise a blade in grand melee? To have your presence make heroes of your charges? This is a path for leaders. You tell me if you are worthy.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then we will begin the simple steps, recruit. And we shall see what heights you reach. You have a task, a simple construction. Go, learn, and return. Soon you will lead from the front. Soon you will command.
Ministro de Suite y Ciencia de Voluta.
Hello. Yes, hello. I am your trainer.
Yes?
I am your trainer.
You said that.
Good, because it has been a long journey. The cause is just, and if we don't start soon, you won't have time to learn. I am your trainer.
You seem a little scattered.
It's nothing. I'm just a little fatigued. It's nothing. Thank you. I was charged with studying the breach and the subsequent rifts to discover how they affected traditional disciplines. I was enthralled. So were the 19 others, I presume. They're dead. They learnt the power, but couldn't wield it. Rift Mage Inquisitor. The forces are incredible. And with training, you will be incredible. I know how not to die, and I can teach it. It's incredible.
You didn't mention your name.
I am your trainer.
That isn't a name.
It is what I am. I try very hard to remember that much. There is so much else to keep in mind. Understand, Inquisitor, that I have learnt it all very quickly, so you do not have to.
Who charged you with studying magic from the rifts?
The Mages Collective. I did not just say that. Yes, I did say it, and we're proud to help. We are nimble, we could move quickly and commit people to this rift magic. Many people. Their lives made it stable and safe. We're very proud.
The rifts were triggered by the breach. There's already a school of magic.
A school? No. Yes. Sort of. The holes in the veil flooded us with magic, and that can be used. It changed some rules, modified them, enough that the careless inverted themselves, old forces in new forms. Others will try, their results will vary, but you will have the best instruction. Because your trainer has already taken the risk. The price has been paid.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
You are the Inquisitor.
And?
You deserve power that casts your enemies aside with the abandon of a creative force, crushes them with your very will. That is the promise. Who better than you? You are the Inquisitor.
Very well. Show me how this should go.
It goes places you have been, and some you have not. That is necessary. So the price is not paid twice. Follow the instruction, and you will know the way. You'll understand the power. Then, I'll show you more. After all, I am your trainer.
Bueno, estamos en la torre y te echo el pelo de vuelta.
Inquisitor, I heard a tapping. My skills are required.
And you are?
Speaker Vios Anaxas. I have come from Navarra as a voice for the dead. Welcome them, and they will serve your cause.
Representa de los muertos.
Excuse me? You speak for who?
The dead. Many assume that they have misheard. I am of the Mortalitazi. We tend to those who have passed and revere their lives by honoring them in death. And when the living are threatened, we give the bodies of the dead physical purpose once more. Necromancy, Inquisitor. The dead will serve for you.
What is a Mortalitazi?
We are the caretakers of the Grand Necropolis of Navarra. For the treasured relative, we usher a spirit of the Fade into the void of their mortal form. It honors them both. But when enemies threaten the living, we turn death into a weapon of war, instead of merely the result.
You're saying you can bring the dead back to life?
Of course not. The souls of our departed cross the Fade to be with the Maker. The body is left empty.
Then what is it that you do?
In the Grand Necropolis, we would usher in a displaced spirit of the Fade, eliminating imbalance. But this is war. Every battlefield has one thing in abundance: death. I turn the bodies of enemies into weapons against them. We do not manipulate the living. We make use of the dead.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
It is not for everyone. Yet we all reach beyond life. You have already killed many out of necessity. To stop at death is wasteful. Death can make allies of enemies. Death can rend the battlefield. Death can terrify.
People will fear me.
Don't you want to terrify? Fear means there are fewer to fight next time. Fear means lives are saved, if that is your concern.
You're a mage who manipulates life. How is this not blood magic?
Blood magic consumes life. It tears at the living to manipulate and destroy. It is a cancer among our kind. We honor life by venerating the dead. We give their mortal form purpose. In combat, perhaps only for a few moments, but that is still more than they had. More than opposing you normally allows.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then your journey begins as others end. The steps are small, but vital. There is instruction and veneration. Then you'll return. We shall see what this life holds for you.
Necesitamos carne de oro, necesitamos el atrapo. Muy bien. Esas son nuestras especializaciones que podemos obtener. Mira tú. Y aquí creo que tenemos a Colin. Muy bien.
Send men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now!
We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
We were all shaken by what happened.
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. And I wouldn't want to. We must be ready. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything on course within the week. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. It could have been worse. Morale was low, but it's improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Everyone has so much faith in my leadership. I hope I'm ready.
You won't have to carry the Inquisition alone, although it must feel like it. We needed a leader, and you have proven yourself.
You responded quickly to the attack on Haven. Without that, so many more would have died. I'm grateful for any help you can give.
Thank you, Inquisitor. I will do everything I can to ensure the security of our people. You have my word.
Muy bien. Hemos hablado con Colin. A ver, si no estoy mal, Blackwell se viene para acá. Ahí está, sí. Y lo único que me falta cobrar es Barrick.
This is just... it's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
The Grey Wardens are huge and important. You're part of that.
True, but without a blight on the horizon, everything the Wardens do feels like waiting. This, the Inquisition, is what matters now. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
What is this Grand Tourney?
You've never heard of it? The Grand Tourney of the Free Marches. It's a spectacle. Song, dance, wine, every amusement you can imagine. But the greatest part is the contest of arms. Prove yourself in the Grand Tourney, and you can make your fortune.
I mean...
How did he help you?
There were 100 men on the field, each one fighting for himself. The knight and I had forged an alliance. It was just the two of us, and we took all comers. The goal, down as many opponents as possible. He always let me deliver the final blow.
That was generous of him.
He said I stood to gain everything, while he'd lose nothing. When it was over, he offered to mentor me, to teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
Different doesn't always mean better.
In this case, I think it would have been better. But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with.
Muy bien.
I'm here.
Investigar a los guardias. ¿Qué opina de la Inquisición?
How much do you know about Corypheus?
Not much. I always thought the stories of magisters corrupting the Golden City were just that. Stories. I didn't expect them to be true, and I certainly didn't expect to find one of them still alive.
Don't the Grey Wardens know everything about Darkspawn?
You don't have to know how a Darkspawn came to be in order to kill it. We're soldiers, not historians. And the world would be better off if people focused on defeating evil rather than explaining how it came to be.
Corypheus stopped being human a long time ago. Darkspawn don't have human lifespans, do they?
No, I suppose they don't. They're unnatural and sustained by evil. It's been thousands of years. You'd think the Wardens would have managed to kill the first Darkspawn by now.
Do you know if there are more Darkspawn like Corypheus?
I don't know. I'm not sure any Warden knows.
Let's discuss something else.
¿Qué opinas de la Inquisición?
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
What do you think of the Inquisition's cause?
Restoring order is a goal I support wholeheartedly. But that's not the end of it, is it? Not by a half. The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring the Chantry. Others say it needs reform. I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
What do you think of my advisors?
Cullen. He's got the look of a man who's been through too much. He's seen the best and the worst of humanity, and I think he still struggles with where that leaves him. Still, I trust him to watch my back.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Cole's dangerous, unpredictable. We aren't even sure what he is. Don't know what he might do. I wouldn't turn my back on him.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
Uy, ya hemos hablado con Blackwell. Vamos a ver qué pasa. Realmente aquí tenemos a nuestros instructores. No, aquí tenemos a Colin, no sé si podemos seguir hablando con esta muchacha. ¿Estás con alguien? ¿Algo que ver?
Is there anything I should know?
Repairs to Skyhold's fortifications are progressing. Our scouts report no immediate threats in the surrounding area. We are fortunate Solus knew of this place.
Is there anything I should know?
I'd gotten used to mages disliking me on principle. Vivienne's views on Templars are surprisingly traditional.
Is there anything I should know?
Sarah brought me a piece of cake. She thought I looked hungry.
Why are you telling me this?
Because it was either an act of kindness or a trap. I was hoping you knew which.
Is there anything I should know?
I believe Dagna has settled in well. She's certainly very cheerful.
Is that a bad thing?
I'm concerned she'll cheerfully blow up Skyhold with one of her experiments. The risk is small at present.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
That's all for now.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
Vámonos. Creo que el último que tenemos que hacer es hablar con el bueno de Barrick. Que el bueno de Barrick está por... Vamos a ver dónde está el muchacho. Está por... ¿Dónde está? Ah, aquí. Está sobre el consejo. Ahí. A ver, vamos a ver. Creo que podemos ir por aquí. Exactamente, creo que está por acá. Vamos a ver. Ahí está. Sí, con el último que tenemos que hablar con Barrick. Mira tú quién está ahí.
Inquisitor, meet Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Hawk, the Inquisitor. I figured you might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him, after all.
This view reminds me of my home in Kirkwall. I had a balcony that overlooked the whole city. I loved it at first. But after a while, all I could see were the people out there depending on me.
You're lucky it was just a single city. I've got half of Thedas.
You're doing everything you can to protect them.
Does it ever get any easier?
I'll let you know. I don't envy you, Inquisitor. But I may be able to help you.
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed. The Grey Wardens were holding him, and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to influence them.
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them against each other.
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
So Corypheus has the Venatori, the Red Templars, and now possibly the Wardens as well. Wonderful.
I didn't come this far just to give you bad news. I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating something unrelated for me. His name is Stroud. The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks. Since then, nothing.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend disappear with them?
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing with the Wardens?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. It was red. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about it.
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium you describe.
Hopefully my friend in the Wardens will know more.
I'll take any lead I can get at the moment.
Good. I'll do whatever I can to help. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time, I'll make sure of it. Inquisitor.
Muy bien.
You said you thought you killed Corypheus.
The Grey Wardens had him imprisoned. They used my father's blood in a ritual to seal Corypheus inside. But he could still reach out and influence the Warden's thoughts. He sent them after me. And I didn't just think I killed him. When the fight was done, he was dead on the ground. Maybe his tie to the Blight somehow brought him back. Or maybe it's old Tevinter magic. But he was dead. I swear it.
And where did you go after the mages rebelled?
I heard the Chantry might be sending an exalted march to Kirkwall to put down the rebellion. I hoped that leaving would save lives and force the Divine to divide her forces to come after me. As it turned out, I needn't have bothered. All the circles started rising up, and the exalted march never came.
Varric said you were the champion of Kirkwall. I've only heard a little about what happened there.
What happened at Kirkwall was the same thing that happened everywhere. Fearful of blood magic and abominations, the Templars brutally suppressed the Circle. And in their desperation to survive, the mages of the Circle turned to blood magic, or became abominations. Finally, a rebel mage named Anders destroyed Kirkwall's Chantry, and everything came tumbling down.
I heard that Anders was your friend. What was he like?
I don't know if there ever was just an Anders. He was crazy. By the end, there was nothing left in him except this insane need to start a war no one could win.
I heard you had family and friends in Kirkwall. Where are they now?
When the Wardens began acting strangely, I had my friend Aveline take my brother out of the Free Marches. My uncle Gamlen's still in Kirkwall, but everyone else I used to know, they've pretty much scattered to the winds.
I assume Varric's been feeding you information about the Inquisition. What did he say about me?
Only good things, I promise. I was a little surprised, actually. Varric isn't one for religion in general, but he thinks highly of the Inquisition.
Muy bien.
We'll talk later.
I'll meet you at Crestwood.
Bueno, aquí tenemos a Hawk. Obviamente, cuando yo jugué el Dragon Age 2, el personaje era femenino y era un mago. Pero como no podemos aquí sincronizar nuestras cuentas de Dragon Age, no tengo idea por qué. Simplemente es un extra predeterminado, entonces aquí soy mago, digamos aquí soy un guerrero humano, que prácticamente sería la historia predeterminada del Dragon Age 2. Y obviamente en el Dragon Age 1 me parece que fui mujer, según la historia predeterminada, y morí cuando la acabé con el archidemonio. Pero en la historia verdadera fui un noble humano Se convirtió en príncipe de Ferelden. Y obviamente salí con vida y tuve que con Morrigan. Pero bueno, aquí la historia va a cambiar un poquillo de eso. Entonces vamos a ver una historia un poco diferente a lo que hemos hecho en los anteriores juegos. Creo que me toca un poco, pero bueno, no pasa nada, igual sigue siendo un buen juego. Bueno, son las posibles decisiones que vas tomando en los juegos. Y quiero pensar que esto es lo que realmente pasaría en la historia de Dragon Age. O sea, este es el canon, por decir así. Pero bueno, no pasa nada. Bueno, vamos a ver si ahora sí está casera. Prácticamente ya sería todo. No, aquí no es acera. No, pero por aquí no puedo salir. A ver, vamos a ver si es que Barry creo que ya está en esta zona de acá. No sé, hasta ahí. Pero bueno, no importa, ya será, no dice nada más. Y creo que Barrick está aquí. Ahí está. Hola, muchacho.
Need something?
Ahora de cualquier.
What can you tell me about this Corypheus?
I'm not exactly an expert, but ask away and I'll answer what I can.
A ver.
How did you first encounter him?
A few years back, I was dealing with some trouble from a Carter clan that went rogue. They were sending assassins after the Hawk family. We tracked them to a rune in the Vimarks. It turned out to be a trap. Once you went far enough into the rune, there was a magic barrier that kept you from going back. The whole thing was a prison the Grey Wardens were using to hold what they thought was a powerful Darkspawn.
I've never heard of Wardens locking up Darkspawn. Why wouldn't they just kill him and be done with it?
I don't think they could. From what we saw in there, Corypheus can control Wardens somehow. They couldn't attack him. The Wardens locked him up because there was nothing else they could do.
He looks like some sort of blighted creature, but he speaks. What is he exactly?
The Wardens who imprisoned him thought he was just a Darkspawn. But you heard him ranting. He claims he's a Magister. One who assaulted the Golden City, what, more than 1,000 years ago? It seems crazy, but if he's telling the truth, he's one of the people who caused the blights.
You and Hawk both said before he was supposed to be dead.
He was dead. We killed him. The only way for us to escape the prison Corypheus was trapped in was to go through him. We weren't going to just leave the door to his prison open behind us and hope he was dead. We made sure.
All right. I think that's enough about Corypheus.
No problem.
Need
something?
I want to know more about Red Lyrium.
I'll tell you what I can.
What could the Templars want with it?
In Kirkwall, just having the Lyrium idol made Knight Commander Meredith impossibly strong. Before it turned her into a Lyrium statue, anyway. Maybe they thought the power was worth it, or maybe they didn't know the consequences.
I think that's enough on Red Lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
Sí teníamos otra pregunta,
Need
pero...
something?
I want to know more about Red Lyrium.
I'll tell you what I can.
I've seen it infect people like a disease and turn them to lyrium. How can it do that?
That's a good question. To tell the truth, we don't really know what that shit can do to a person. And I don't want to find out.
I think that's enough on Red Lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
A ver. Otra
Need
vez.
something?
Can I
¿Otra
ask you
persona?
something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Pues nada más.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
A ver, vamos a otra vez a darle consejo. Y bueno, ya creo que ya mucha hablada hemos pasado solo hablando en este video. Pero bueno, es necesario. Este video se trata de historia. Y con ello tenemos un par de misiones por ahí y un par de misiones por allá. Claramente es importante. A ver, vamos a ver, tenemos ganarse la amistad con Orsamar, muy bien. Tenemos...
How are the rescue efforts? Have they found anyone alive?
Excavation is slow, as you can
Una petición de Dorian, el precio del poder. Joder, tenemos aquí pero bastantes cosas que hacer. A ver. En busca del escrito suelo. Aquí necesitamos a la Eliana, así que de ahí nada. Ya con los mismos mercaderes, esto creo que es para Josephine. Ah, no. Obviamente, a ver. Ah, pero estos están. Tenemos que de ley mandar a Josephine.
Inquisitor.
No hay más. Precio de poder. Ese es el que toma menos tiempo.
Inquisitor.
Y creo que ya. Acá tenemos más.
Abandoned when we arrived.
A ver, recursos, alianzas.
Solus says it changed hands so many times, the original builders can't be traced. I read the House of Armitage once built a fortress in the vicinity 5 ages ago, but the records are lost.
Muy bien. Y bueno, ahora sí, vamos aquí. Vámonos aquí al mapa del mundo. Tenemos algo con Colin, vamos a ver. Parece que es una misión con Colin. A ver, para hablar con Colin, creo que tenemos que ir por acá. Aquí tenemos las olas. Exactamente por acá. Vamos a ver qué pasa con Colin. ¿Dónde está? Arriba. Pues no. ¿Dónde está el muchacho? Es la que está aquí, pero no está aquí. A ver, esto está extraño. Vamos a ver. Vamos a... Listo. Mi colega está aquí. Vamos a ver.
Yes?
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
No, tenemos que viajar para que todos los personajes se vayan a sus respectivos lugares. Vamos acá, cosa de la tormenta. Y aquí tenemos maldiciones, como pueden ver. Entonces vamos aquí. A ver, vamos a ir con Barrick, con Cassandra, con Solas. Vamos con el grupo original.
Nothing to report, sir.
Todos vamos bien. Vamos a ver qué nivel son estos muchachos. Uff, aquí hay bastantes cosillas, ¿eh? Todas las posibilidades. Muy bien. Parece que tenemos que cerrar algunas entradillas que tenemos por aquí. Conteniendo los engendros, muy bien.
The waking sea. Somewhere across all that water is Kirkwall.
It was a long... journey to Haven.
Considering the company, I'm surprised it didn't feel longer. Darkspawn above ground. Just what we needed. Kirkwall was filled with refugees during the Blight, trying to flee the chaos back in Ferelden.
Mira tú, mi cordero. Aquí tenemos más cosas. A ver, creo que el túnel está por acá. Tenemos hierro. Exactamente, creo que sí. Ahí muere. Vamos aquí a hacer esto. Muy bien. Vámonos. Uno será. Siguiente posición. Bueno, tienes que ir por acá. Muy más. Más de engendros, mira tú. Ya subí de nivel. Viniera un poquito más de batalla, ya no solo estar hablando, pero bueno, es necesario, Bueno, acá tenemos otras cuevas, me parece, en la que tenemos que cerrar más de estas grietas que están por dentro de los engendros. A ver, ¿dónde está la una? Creo que va a estar acá. Sí. Así que aquí hay cerca dos. Va a ser ahí. Obviamente va a ser por estos lugares. Y aquí tengo, creo que son arañas. No son. Aquí hay arañas y todo. Aquí sí hay de todo. A ver. Bueno, tenemos que cerrar aquí las. No lo veo. De verdad, necesito aquí esto. Tenemos un huevo alfa.
We are victorious once more.
aquí. Muy bien. Vámonos. A ver, siguiente. Para la siguiente podemos irnos para acá. A ver, subir de nivel. Mira tú. Ya tengo uno más. Vamos a hacer esto. Muy bien. A ver, aquí hay otro. Vamos a ver dónde está. Que aquí no es que vea ningún hueco. Pero vamos, creo que va a ser aquí. Ahí está, ¿se ven? ¿Dónde van?
That's the end of it.
Muchacho. Quedaste rostizado. Tela del pináculo. Vamos a hacer esto. Muy bien. Y lo único que nos faltaría es esta zona de acá. Que aquí sí tenemos que llamar al caballito. Vamos ahí. Estamos cerca. Concha, perdón. Bueno, por ti estamos cerca. Aquí debe haber algún agujerillo. Vamos a estar dentro de esto. Ahí, como puedo ver, hay arañas.
That Herlock will put up a fight. Stand ready.
¿Qué demonios? Sí, ni que me pegó. Para hacer un flechazo a mí me trastoca la cosa. Aquí hay algo. Aquí hay algo. Una red de profeta mira tú. Esto es interesante. Bueno, vamos a guardar aquí por si acaso. No me acuerdo si estoy aquí en nivel para entrar aquí, pero vamos a guardar. Vamos a ver.
Inquisitor. The workers are almost done building a lift to the deep roads. No darkspawn trouble yet, but the earthquakes have been brutal.
I was told to meet a Shaper Volta.
She's waiting below. You won't see an Orzammar dwarf on the surface. They have rules about that.
How many quakes have there been since you arrived?
At least 3 big rumblers. And the aftershocks are nothing to sneeze at. My feet miss solid ground.
Josephine's report mentioned several lyrium mines were damaged by the quakes.
You'll see what's left of this one on your way down. From what I hear, the other mines are barely holding together.
So you haven't seen any darkspawn up here?
I sharpened my arrows just in case, but they never showed. I'm okay with that.
From your tone, I'd guess Orzammar isn't your favorite place.
I don't have an opinion. Cloud gazers like me aren't allowed in the city. The lift's ready for you. Try not to shift around, and keep back from the edge. It's a long way down.
Esto creo que es un DLC.
This reminds me of a story.
Shocking.
It's about an impossibly handsome dwarf and his friend who got crowned King of the Nugs.
A Nug King, really?
It's not as good as it sounds. Nugs mostly just shit on the floor and roll in it. Welcome to the deep roads.
We should be wary of raw lyrium.
I'm more worried about finding darkspawn.
Neither is a pleasing prospect.
Dwarves cannot dream, yet they devise the most fascinating inventions.
Not all ideas come from the Fade.
True, but these designs must be inspired by something.
Vamos a ver qué nivel hay aquí, porque si es de mucho nivel, obviamente no podremos seguir con la aventura.
Horut, Magar, Novrik, your names will not be forgotten.
You must be Shaper Volta.
A trust Valar, Inquisitor. The Shaperate welcomes you to the deep roads.
You look as though you're hiding from something.
As a citizen of Orzammar, even a glimpse of your sky could cost me my position and render me castless.
Gotta love real dwarves.
What does a Shaper do exactly?
We chronicle the life and times of our people.
You're historians.
Also scholars and genealogists. Shapers preserve knowledge in the memories, an archive in Orzammar. We record memories in Lyrium to ensure they never fade. We must be meticulous in every detail.
A difficult task.
My ambassador briefed me, but now I hear there are still more quakes.
Each new tremor opens another fissure in the deep roads. Our situation has worsened since we contacted Skyhold. The quakes collapsed this mine and shattered a seal, keeping the Darkspawn at bay. The Legion of the Dead hasn't been able to mend the broken seal, and we can't afford to lose any more lyrium.
I've read about the Legion of the Dead. Dwarves who fight Darkspawn in service to Orzammar. They commit their lives to the cause and celebrate their own funerals before entering the deep roads.
No matter their sins in life, the Legion die noble deaths.
What will happen if we lose more lyrium mines?
The surface needs lyrium for all sorts of magic. The Inquisition more than most, I understand. And Orzammar's economy relies on the lyrium trade. Without it, there will be chaos above and below.
Orzammar deals with Darkspawn all the time. Why request the Inquisition's help?
The Legion isn't prepared for this level of disaster, and the Grey Wardens haven't answered our calls for aid. Any threat to the flow of lyrium requires immediate response. The Inquisition is the only force we can rely upon.
The Inquisition stands ready to aid Orzammar. Without a steady lyrium supply, things on the surface will get even worse.
Apologies for pushing you. I fear the damage that tremor caused. Follow me to the Legion camp.
Bueno, primero hay que ver qué nivel hay aquí. Antes de seguir con la aventurilla, obviamente. Creo que aquí estamos a un nivel muy bajo.
Keep your eyes open. These roads are dangerous.
Quiero ver si es que podemos salir de aquí. Ah, pues sí. A ver. Por si acaso. Si podemos solo llegar hasta un campamento sería genial. Para poder seguir viendo por acá. Pero creo que ni eso vamos a llegar. Vamos a ver. Si aquí nos dan hierba usada es porque necesitamos hierba usada.
I hate the deep roads.
Bueno, es de nivel 13. Papá.
Strike now.
No están casi nada. A pesar de que es nuestro nivel. Vamos a hacer algo aquí. Vamos a poner esto. No tiene aquí. Pero, bueno, vamos a que se ponga esto. Este muchacho esto. Esto. Vamos a echarle un fuego antibano a este muchacho.
It's not focused on us. Now's the time to attack.
Pero no le echo fuego, ¿no es cierto? Maldita seas. Sí que es potente.
While it's distracted.
Nadie tiene poder especial aún. Así que tengo que seguir esperando. Bueno,
It's not focused on us. Now's the time to attack.
A ver, desgraciado.
Not focused on us. Now's the time to attack. Now, while it's distracted.
Madre maldita sea. No.
You have my gratitude.
Just returning the favor.
If the ogre reached this point, the Legion must be overwhelmed. Let us hurry.
Así que aquí vamos a pasarlo canutas. Pero no sé cositas, Vamos a ver si podemos llegar hasta donde está el resto de la gente.
I will never get used to the stench of darkspawn. They corrupt everything, even the air.
Obviamente están peleando. Bueno, aquí no hay nada. Vamos a ver. El problema es que no tengo nada
That's the
de...
broken seal ahead. It is worse than I thought.
Get those charges to the tunnels! Someone prime the sonic fuses!
Nuevamente aquí.
We can't lose this position. Hurry!
Can't set the charges with those bastards breathing down our necks!
Clear out the darkspawn!
Maldición, vale. Estamos dando posición, muchacho.
That's got them on their heels. Keep it up! The seal's clear. Prime the charges.
Now, set the charges!
Vámonos. Vamos aquí a montar un campamentillo.
Inquisitor, meet Lieutenant Wren, a veteran of the 5th Flight and one of the Legion's finest commanders.
Someone paid her to say that. Appreciate the help, Inquisitor. Collapsing that seal bought us time. Blighters had the run of these tunnels for days. Now they have a roadblock.
How many deep roads are there? How deep do they go?
They'll take you from one side of Thedas to the other, if you have a death wish.
The roads once connected dwarven cities that were hundreds of miles apart. Then came the Darkspawn. Ren and I have been exploring this region, reclaiming it, but the work is slow.
Mark the map, fight an army. Mark the map, fall in a hole. And so on.
I get the impression you two have known each other a while.
Yeah. The Shaper had sent her to dig up some relics. Asked me to keep her out of trouble. That was 3 years ago.
You can quit any time.
Not when we still have things to fight about.
The Legion of the Dead has the Inquisition's full support.
That's the best news I've heard since the quakes began. Actually, the only good news.
Take cover!
You heard that, yes? The rhythm and the tremors? It's clearer, stronger, more insistent.
I hear it. Doesn't prove a thing.
These quakes are not a natural disaster. They're deliberate. There's an intelligence behind them.
If something is causing them, the strength required would be incredible. What could do that?
Here we go.
I found an ancient text during an expedition with Ren last year. At the time, it was just a curiosity. But now... the text describes giant creatures, called Titans, living deep underground. They sing in the stone, shaping it. When these quakes began, I believe we heard that rhythm. I believe a Titan is causing all this destruction.
I've never heard of Titans before. What else can you tell me about them?
The text I found predated the First Blight. Its pages had mostly rotted away. And there's no mention of the Titans in Orzamar's memories.
Which tells you something.
All I heard was an earthquake. How is it you and Ren hear a rhythm?
Our people have a strong connection to the stone. We feel it in a way topsiders cannot.
Shapers have great stone sense. And Volta's better than most. She never gets lost.
You speak of the stone like it's more than walls.
The stone is eternal. She was here before us, and remains after we die.
But the stone isn't your god.
We don't worship her, but we do respect and honor her.
The stone makes us strong, and we return that strength to her when we die. It's difficult to express in words.
In my experience, no explanation is too strange to consider.
For all we know, that text you found was a bedtime story. We can't be sure until we find the source.
The rhythm I sense in the quakes is emanating from somewhere far below. The stone will lead us there.
And if it comes to a fight, that'll be our job. There's a lift at the side passage nearby. Ready when you are.
Muy bien. Estamos aquí en las profundidades. Pero bueno, aquí es bastante largo, se puede decir así. Y aquí tenemos todo lo que podemos hacer aquí en realidad en esta sección. Vamos a equiparnos con un poquillo de cosillas porque se ve que ya nos falta. A ver, ¿dónde está Barrick? Barrick, solas. A ver, solas. Y Barrick. Ahí está. Muy bien. Cassandra. Ya. Y aquí tenemos todo un consenso y todas las cosas. Como aquí tenemos otras. Este es un DLC. Esto más vale dejarlo para un poco más luego. Entonces vamos a irnos de aquí de momento. Vamos aquí a mapa del mundo. Y vamos aquí otra vez a Feudo Celestial. Y vamos a ver la última zona que tenemos pendiente. Y eso es que con eso terminaremos esta misión, este video. Ya tenemos 10 de poder, así que podemos abrir la última zona que tenemos pendiente. Vamos acá a la sala del consejo. Y ahí es donde lo dejaron los muchachos. Ya se hizo un poco largo el video. Y primero haremos lo que se refiere a la historia principal. El camino de prioridades es una historia aparte. Aquí tenemos más. Bueno, aquí tenemos para encontrar la guardia. Interesante.
I have something for you, Commander. The soldiers the Herald rescued from the Fallermire arrived an hour ago.
Thank the Maker.
Recursos, reclutar, muy bien. Me parece que falta uno. ¿Dónde está? No disponible, no disponible, no disponible. A ver, esta es aquí. Uno de faltas. Vamos a investigar esto. Muy bien. Más tarde, muchachos, ahorita no. Muy bien. Y esta sería de la misión principal, encontrar a la guardia. A ver, ¿quién está en misión? Esta está en misión, en curso. Me falta uno. Está completado. ¿Quién no está en misión? A ver, aquí está, este está en curso, ¿verdad?
We cannot neglect our soldiers' training.
Me falta uno.
Can we neglect roads? Our allies cannot take the same route through the mountains we did.
Y aquí no veo a nadie que esté en curso. Oh, mira, todo aquí está bien. Necesita más poder. Necesita mucho más poder. Pero no importa. Ah, mira, ahí está. Ya le vi. No, esperen. Ahí estaba la otra parte. Aquí está, no la vi. Exactamente. Solo así. Esto está completado. A ver esto.
Any news on rifts beyond reach of the Inquisition?
Yes, and it is not good.
Aquí está Kirkwood. Si pueden ver. Este es Kirkwood. Donde se desarrolla el Dragon 2. Solo aquí. Bueno, muchachos, ahí la vamos a dejar. Espero que les haya gustado y ya nos veremos en una siguiente vez. Nos vemos.